shit! Move it, man! Go on, move it! Get up first! Damn it!
The coming-of-age film. Always love the drama. Whether it's the main focus of the film.
Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done.
A subplot. Or even a more subtle theme.
Doesn't it make you proud to be Scottish?
It's shite being Scottish!
There's something so universal about the experience of this rite of passage to a new stage in life. But it's not always light-hearted.
You're right, actually. I am I'm pretty troubled and I'm pretty confused, but I'm afraid, really afraid. Really afraid, but I think you're fucking Antichrist.
It can get dark.
You know why I'm here today? I'm here because Mr. Ryan found a gun in the locker.
Or explore some deep themes.
You're gay.
Can you not tell anyone, please? I'm so sorry about everything. I'm so ashamed of all of it. It's going to be bad, and I just need a little bit of time to figure out how I'm going to tell my mom.
The Fire Outside is an example of this, as we follow our protagonist at the twilight years of his adolescence, and how he comes to terms with the nature of his upbringing, as well as how he escapes it.
Hi, I'm Lan. I'm the production designer of this screenplay. I was first attracted by the background of the characters in the script. As an Asian child, I'm sympathized with why Peter Morris wants to get rid of his mother. In the script, Peter's shoulder-length hair is one of the few features that shows his personality. When we take the bath in the bathroom, we can tell that his family conditions are very average. The bathroom is entirely black, which is as depressing as his current situation. The cramped shower stall and the soap reflect the fact that he's tightly surrounded by pressure around him. Being thin and short, he can only strictly and obey his mother's orders. Considering that props required for this scene are very basic, it is not difficult to get them. All props can be purchased from the material market. Props that need to be aged can be recreated to achieve the desired effect, such as curtains in the bathroom and clothes basket. When Peter's painting appeared on the screen for the first time, the horrifying and the depression atmosphere also displayed Peter's inner state. His authentic bond, his paintings are about blood and demons. The moment his brush fell on the paper, he is not painting, but giving this right to something deeper in his soul. Those paintings are not only a reflection of reality, but also a struggle for the future that cannot be seen at a glance. I tried to draw a few pictures based on Peter's mood at the time, and a Korean artist called Anna Park is one of the people I think can be used as a reference. This style is familiar to Peter's inner world. When talking about clothing, I think of my wardrobe. When I was about to turn 18, my wardrobe was almost in all basic, like black, white, or gray, and they were all very basic styles. As for Peter, who is also Asian, the color in his wardrobe are mainly low saturated. For example, it is mentioned many times in the script that he has a jacket. Under the control of his mother, Peter's life no longer has bright colors, but since paintings still have great significance to it, the colors of the jacket should not be just the normal, basic black and white. The reason I chose the yellowish green is that yellow gives people a very bright feeling, like the sun, but it is also a color that's easily affected by other colors. The addition of green, on the one hand, reflects that Peter is trapped in a toxic situation, which is bad for him, and on the other hand, it is also hints that he will eventually become open and relaxed. When Peter was wearing a t-shirt and jeans when he was painting, compared to other original clothes, I would like to choose overalls, because overalls have a more restrictive feeling. The clothing mentioned above are really simple styles and the colors are not uncommon, so it is very easy to get them. T-shirts and overalls stained by paint can also be recreated.
My name is Finn Sykes and I am the cinematographer for The Fire Outside. For this film I will be using the ARRI Alexa and ARRI Alexa Signature Prime Lens Kit. This is because it's got a dynamic range capturing detailed images in both bright and low light conditions. This is perfect as in this film the overall aesthetic I'm going for is a mix of moody and atmospheric shots to reflect the emotional depth of the story. I want to use low-key lighting and shadows to create a sense of mystery and tension. This can be seen enough in the first shot I'm covering where our protagonist Peter is just getting out of the shower and he speaks to his mother. I've made a mood board for this and I use a lot of cold colours, green, greys and blues, creating an eerie atmosphere. I'd frame this shot similarly to the shower scene in Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock. It highlights and foreshadows Peter's vulnerability in this film. The next scene I'm covering is when Peter meets Elle in the woods. Peter is very frightened and I want to capture that. I want it to be a very visually impactful scene focusing on emotions they share, using a combination of close-up shots to capture their expressions, as well as medium shots to show the interaction they have. The scene is quite typical for the horror genre, with very dark, dim lighting. This mood board shows what I'm going for with this scene. Comparisons can be made with this scene to when Mike finds Elle in the woods in Stranger Things. The comparison can be made to Stranger Things as we see a young character going through the woods, scared for his life. We see lots of quick cuts, it's very darkly lit. It is quite conventional to the horror genre, but it's well done and well executed, and I'd like to do something similar in The Fire Outside with our protagonist Peter when he finds Elle. The final scene is really quite harrowing and one I want to capture well. It's with the burning man and the burning woman being his mother and the man who buys his art. They engulf in flames alongside some close-ups. I want to show this with the burning house. I also want to show their full bodies fully engulfed. This mood board shows what I'm going for here with some visuals. It's a really powerful scene and as a cinematographer it's really important I capture that. A similar scene to this would be in Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Her dress engulfs in flames and this is really well shot. The lighting is almost entirely done by the fire and that's something I'll do as well because it shows how dangerous and bright and powerful of a force it is.
Hello, I am Jack Tansley and I'm going to talk about what I would do when directing the script The Fire Outside. For the opening scene, the script describes the sounds of a fire over black. I think to make this moment potentially more engaging on screen, I'd use the film's setting alongside the sounds of the fire. Peter lives in the middle of a vast forest, and I would use the visual of an autumnal forest alongside the sounds of the fire with the red, orange, gold leaves mimicking the colours we'd associate with fire. This also helps to establish the setting where the characters are spending most of their time as well. The very next line of the script is a harsh contrast. I would keep this in mind when directing as well. From the crackling sounds of fire and vivid colour palette of golden leaves, we hard cut to a pristine, minimalist bathroom coupled with the expected sounds of water. This invokes a stark, almost shocking contrast, and one that will be deeply entwined with the film itself and its messages. This contrast just between the first two shots reflects the overarching theme of The Fire Outside. Our protagonist lives a sheltered life indoors and away from society. It's dull, uninspiring, lacking colour. Outside, however, presents a world of possibilities full of colour and life. Peter seeks to escape this world. The second scene I want to talk about is the, so to speak, platonic meet-cute between Peter and the deuteragonist Elle. This is the first time Peter leaves the house, and I want sound to play a big part in this scene. As he leaves the house, Peter's breath and footsteps is most of what can be heard. Fast cuts will show his movement through the woods, crunching leaves under his feet to call back to the autumn setting. I intend the sound to emphasise the fear Peter feels fleeing his mother, with the fast cuts in the edit reflecting the methodical nature of how he evades his mother. Eventually, Peter emerges at a lake, meeting Elle, listed in the script here as teen person. Elle's demeanour is calm, voice soft and reassuring to Peter. Peter's upbringing leaves other people almost alien to him, something that I want to be emphasised in Elle's portrayal. Peter's actor can also support this by perhaps being cautious around Elle or flinching at their attempts to comfort him. His lines should be stuttered too, to further show his fear of the unknown. Similarly vital to their character is Elle being non-binary. It's something Peter has never seen or heard of before. There are men in his life, such as the character of Mark, who buys his paintings, as well as women, like his mother Felicia. However, he has no experience of other kinds of expressions and genders. Elle being non-binary further displays their otherness to Peter. Always hotly debated in the film industry, I think it's paramount that Elle should be portrayed by a young, non-binary, queer or transgender actor. Non-binary people are still a very marginalised group, so by giving them this visibility in the film industry, I think there can be a change for the better. Finally, I want to talk about the final page of the screenplay. After Peter and Elle evade his mother's traps and escape from the house, they emerge from the woods onto a vast road. This road is one that I think carries a lot of meaning in the story. It represents a new path for Peter, one away from his abusive mother. Again, like the times he leaves the house, sound is key. We hear Peter's heart pounding, settling down when Elle speaks. At the end of the road, I want a light, perhaps one of a city in the distance. It represents opportunity, a fresh start. Peter and Elle should run up the highway towards it, finally free. Unlike previous scenes of Peter running afraid, I want the editing to be less intrusive. One long take of Peter and Elle running from the camera. The fear, the quick cuts, the intrusive sound, it's all left with Peter's mother's death.